Welcome to the final installment for this build. So I put some simple can lights in the bathroom because I wanted simple lighting in the private stalls. I'm looking at the backyard, and I decided for this house that I was going to build a greenhouse because in the first house that I'm using for this challenge, I actually have all the plants outside. And I believe if I have a greenhouse, then everything will be in season all year long. And that will allow me to get more money for these the Sim family, so they can excel as Sims. I think the glass roof really sends home the fact that it's a greenhouse. I thought that removing the floor would be an interesting touch, but I decided because I was going to use the planters anyway that I eventually put back the floor. Because I didn't have enough room for a full square plot, I just put two simple pots for the plants because I just wanted to maximize space, and I thought it would be nice if I just put the flowers over there and kept the actual square plots for fruits and vegetables. We'll see where I end up putting the various plants once the family actually moves into this house. I went through so many changes on the decor so I figured I'd leave a little bit of exposed brick and then put some art on it, and I end up really liking how I did the greenhouse in the end. I just went through a lot of different stages of it. Here's the little path for the greenhouse. Since it is tiled inside, I figured I might as well make a little dedicated path for it and put in some nice landscaping. I like that bush that we get with, I believe, outdoor retreat. But whenever I put it down, I think of the fact that Sims can use it for other things besides decorative, and it puts me off it. I don't really use that bush unless it really goes with my color scheme. Some nice rocks. I love hydrangeas, especially in this game. They're one of my favorite bushes to use. Using some landscaping paint, some terrain paint. I think it makes a big difference. And it's not a lot of effort. And I thought the little flowers over on that side was a nice touch because it's the dedicated little gardening section. As I say, lighting is always very important. I grabbed the lights from the front and I put them in the back just to make sure that they're the exact same. I'm telling you, the eyedropper tool is my best friend. Oh, putting some terrain paint under the bushes. And see how much of a difference that makes? Once you break up a little bit of that color, it looks more realistic than just a flat, just the same terrain over the entire property. Because real terrain has little different characteristics here and there. I think these are also my favorite recliners in the entire game. You see how it's a little off center? So I manually put them a little closer together so it just perfectly in line up. I love using the debug objects to add little things. And I always like to make sure that the knife is pointed the right way, just as if someone had just put it down. Some roofing. So this video is actually 3 sessions of recording edited together. So that's why you'll see that it was nighttime, but now it's daytime. I really have nothing to say about roofs besides that I don't like doing them. But I'm working on it.
That couch goes through a lot of different color pet swatches. That couch goes through a lot of different color swatches. I thought green would have been nice for this room, but I like how it turned out in the end. This is where I found the green looks nice, but I also got distracted by this wallpaper because I had never seen it before and I didn't realize it came in so many swatches. So I'm definitely excited to make a build with this wallpaper. I also went through a lot of rugs in this build. I've edited out a lot of the different rug options because it would have been twice as long. But I leave a few in the final choice so you can see kind of what my mindset is for this room. Again with the sunflowers. I like that painting, but I seem never to find a good place for it. I decided to put curtains in here because it felt a little bland, and especially because it's the front of the house. I figured they could use some privacy and draw them back if it was real life. But that's what I'm thinking when I design rooms is how would they be designed in real life? What objects would be in there? What makes sense to be there? Where would I leave something if I was using it? So you kind of have to have that mindset when you're decorating. And that's why I just scroll through a lot and edit out my scrolling because it takes me a long time to decide what layouts I want. And a lot of times I pull objects out and see how they look. I play around with them. I put them off to the side. Plants are a really easy way to fill up the space in The Sims. I thought since it was the living room, family room, it'd be nice to have speakers in there. Because I think it would be a very lively room in the house, especially for the children and the teenagers. So I also end up putting a gaming console in there. So it's nice. The toddlers have their own room and the children and teens have their own room. And there's also the rec room upstairs. So Sims have enough room to space out or relax. I think I need to download more lighting. All my content is actually from the Sims resource, but I'm looking to branch out. So if you have your favorite custom content websites, make sure to leave a comment down below. These curtains are nice, and I like that I made them a little darker shade. So it stands out from the wall, but it still is subtle. So I really wanted the couches to be the focal point of the room. That's why the rug is white to match the walls. The wall covering is very simple. Even the mirror is really simple. It's in the color scheme. So the big pop of color is the dark blue couches. And I do go back and forth on light blue but dark blue. But I end up keeping the dark blue because I think the contrast between the light and dark works really nicely. And there's areas in the house where I try to do some contrast for some visual interest, like the dining room versus the kitchen. So it's a very big difference in the amount of color in this one and the other one. So even walking through, you can see the big difference in the light. And I did that for intimacy in the dining room. Because darker areas tend to be more intimate. I wanted to frame the TV somehow. So I thought about bookcases, but then the sizing just didn't work well with this TV. And I could have done move objects and it would have worked, but I did curtains instead. And now I'm thinking if it would have looked better with two bookcases side by side or the curtains or even different curtains. Tell me, which one do you like better? Do you like the curtains, or do you like the idea of putting bookshelves side on each side? I'm glad I changed it out for that plant instead. I really like the monkey bars. And it reminded me, I know we don't have wood chip terrain paint, but I did that so you could see that it was a little bit used. I wish we had slides. I remember that in The Sims 3. That was one of my favorite objects. I play around with these rose bushes for a very long time. I know I end up moving the bushes closer together so it hugs the house more. And of course, move objects is on because I really like when it's seamless. For shrubbery, at least. Now that I'm looking at it, it would have been nice to have the rose bushes or whatever bushes they are on the left side of the house as well. But once again, the backyard isn't symmetrical like the front is. So it's also nice to have a little bit different on one side than the other. And then I found that one, so then inspiration struck. I thought, what better to put in the greenhouse than more plants? So then I also end up moving the planter boxes over to make sure that the all sides are reachable. And then here comes the house tour. I tried to envision the videos they do on real estate listings, on real estate listings. So I went room by room and tried to do some nice angles. Here's the contrast between the dining room and the kitchen, like I said before. There's the coffee bar. Oh, I love coffee. I really like how that part of the kitchen turned out with the island. Here's the living room with that really nice painting that I like. Here's an outside angle from the living room, focusing on the curtains. And then here is the toddler room. I really like those stickers up there. And then here's the toddler bathroom. Toilet paper that I never put back down. Here is the laundry room. The upstairs hallway with the rec room to the right. And then here is the master bedroom. Very simple with the sitting area. Here's the master bath. The tub disappeared, but it's okay. Here is the walk-in closet, full and cleaning mirror and a vanity. This is the children's wing, the pink bedroom, the green bedroom, and the blue room. Here's the pink one again with the mirror that I forgot to include earlier. And here's the children's bathroom, the vanity, double vanity sink with the men's and women's side, two private bathroom stalls with toilet paper. Here's the exit to the back, some more back angles, some of the backyard, those bushes that I planted earlier, another angle of the back, what you would see if you were walking out as a sim. Then the little pathway to the greenhouse and the pool area. The hammock, the recliners, here's that bonsai, and the green room. glass roof, some exterior shots. And thank you for staying tuned with me on this journey.